everyone, welcome back. And this is my review of Nagi no Asukara, episode 2, entitled The Chilly Desert. So, this episode, oh boy, this is where the series I feel is really starting to pick up. Only in episode 2 as well. So in this episode we have a few new turn events. I think it's Hikari's sister, if I'm not mistaken. His older sister, who ends up dating someone from the surface, and because of when he does that, and when she starts to do that, her village eventually finds out about it, and she's chastised for it. We learn that if that happens, they can actually be banished from the sea village. Alright, which is, you know, apparently which is basically a death sentence, as it would seem, because as we've seen in the last episode, if they remain on the surface for too long, their skin starts to crack. So yeah, that would basically be a death sentence. Alright. And it just goes to show you that most people from the the heads at least of the underwater village hate the surface people. Like, the only reason they're sending their kids up there is because they have to. Alright, because there's no more schools down below. Alright, and it's even written into law there. So, and to be fair though, most people from the surface hate the sea village too. You know, as you've seen, there's even little kids that are like picking on Hikari and whatnot. So, so yeah, you can definitely see the difference in, like, the fact that they both hate each other, pretty much, for the most part. Most of them do. Alright, and there's really no acceptance or equality here. And if the series focuses on trying to find equality with the surface people and the sea people, as well as having a romance in there, I think it'll be amazing if it's done right. If it's done right, and it looks like that may be kind of the direction it's going in. And speaking of the romance, if that's what it's going for, which it seems like it is, I have to hand it to them, because it doesn't look like, because usually in romances I can tell exactly who's going to end up with who by the end. I can't really with this one. I mean, even by episode 2, or sometimes even episode 1, I usually can, but I can't really with this one. Like, Monika seems like she could end up with Hikari, but all the same, it seems like she could end up with Kihara as well, that one surface guy who basically saved her life in the previous in episode 1. Alright, so I really like how well that's written as well. It's kind of to me anyways, it's kind of a mystery right now. Alright, and so I'm really digging it. Alright, and you know, of course Hikari can't stand Kihara, because we can obviously tell that he's in love with Monika, and they've been together ever since they were little, and he's always wanted to protect her. And there's 2 reasons why he gets pissed off that he thinks Hikari is actually falling for him, which she does seem like she is. Alright, would be 1, because he wants to be the one to protect her, and 2, because, well, he actually just found out that if she were to fall in love with him, she would be exiled. Alright, it's that simple, and they see proof of that when, I need to find her name if it's here. Akari, there we are. Akari, who is the one I mentioned before, who is Hikari's older sister. She's fallen in love with someone from the surface. Yeah, it's obviously seen when they go back down below and they see that she's been found out, and she's basically being forced to go see the leader of their village against her will. And but then their father does come in, shoos everyone else away, and takes her instead. So I'm guessing that obviously, since he's her father, he doesn't seem like a complete jackass. I'm guessing, or at least hoping, that he would be better to her than they would. Okay, and you know, that leader of the village doesn't seem like a total d-bag. I mean, he seems like a pretty laid-back guy for the most part. I'm hoping that he'd be willing to. I would hope that he'd be willing to compromise. But then again, apparently this has happened before, and he's the leader of the village, or maybe someone else was the leader back then. Who knows? Who knows? It's all up in the air now, basically. But overall, the animation was perfect once again. The art looks beautiful once again. The music was amazing once again. So yes. Anyways, overall, I really loved this episode. I really didn't see any flaws in it. In this episode, one episode in general. The only thing is, so far there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot of character development. Like we have some slight character development in terms of, you know, as opposed to episode 1, we actually get to see how Hikari feels, for example, how Monica feels, how Chisaki feels about these whole situations. It's not really character development that could be leading up to development, but that's not really development. Alright? And it's only episode 2, so I'm not really gonna knock it for that just yet, you know. Like, a lot more episodes will have to pass before, like, about half the series, basically, maybe a little over, would have to pass before I'd really say, okay, it's really bad there's no character development, because it's only episode 2 right now, but I did feel the need to mention it, though. Right, so yeah, anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.